Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. In this particular video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how sampling distributions are used to estimate population parameters. And so we're going to go over the code of an estimation in Python to create a sampling distribution. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to import the two libraries that we are going to use to create this sampling distribution that we're going to perform an estimation on. So we're going to import NumPy as NP, which is your numeric library, and we're going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT for your visualization library. And then what we're going to do is we're going to generate our population data. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set our seed. And basically what happens when you set the seed is you set it up so every time you run the program, it will initialize to the same values. So it starts out the same when you set the seed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to define our population, which equals np.random.normal. So normal means it's a normal distribution, brackets, loc is your mean, comma, scale is your standard deviation, and sample size is your sample size. So a mean of 50, a standard deviation of 10, and a sample size of 10,000. And then we're going to set our parameters for sampling. So sampling size equals 30 and number of samples equals 1,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to collect our sample means. So the sample means is an empty list. For underscore and range, num samples, that's 1,000. Sample equals np.random.choice, brackets, population, comma, size equals sample size, comma, replace equals false. So that means you're not going to replace the randomly selected number. And the sample mean equals np.mean sample. And the sample means dot append sample mean. So you're going to append the sample mean to the list. And so every time you iterate through the for loop. And so the num samples is 1,000. So you're going to iterate through the for loop 1,000 times. So you're going to have 1,000 samples. Or really 30 samples each iteration. And then now what we're going to do, we're going to plot the sample distribution of the mean. So we're going to create a histogram. So plt.hist, bracket sample mean, comma, bins equals 30, color equals sky blue, edge color equals black, alpha equals 0.7. And then you have plt axv line, brackets, np mean of sample means, comma, color equals red, line style equals dashed, line width equals 2, and label equals mean. And plt.axv line, brackets, np median of sample means, comma, color equals green, line style equals dashed, line width equals 2, label equals median. So we add the titles and labels to the visualization. So it says the title is sampling distribution of the sample mean, and X label is your sample mean, and Y label is your frequency, and we're going to show it. And so this is what it looks like. This is a normal distribution. So the mean is 50 and the median is 50.04. And so basically the mean and the median are very close, but they're not the same. So the difference between the median sort of takes account of outliers, whereas the mean doesn't. but that's why the mean is the average and the median is the center of the data set. So that's it. That's your sampling distribution of the sample mean. So that concludes this video. In the next video, we will be talking about another sampling distribution.